We're taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. and the future of Baltimore City leadership in the spotlight. We'll take a look at who's on their way out as the city struggles to fill a number of vacancies. Plus, a look ahead at your 2024 ballot for mayor. The possible challenges facing Mayor Scott as he looks to secure a second term. And we're on a weather alert today. A round of storms moving across the country on its way here. We'll time it out for you as several flights are already grounded up and down the East Coast. Fox 45 News Midday starts right now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us here at Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Taylor Stewart. We begin right now with that weather alert. We're keeping a close eye on incoming severe weather this afternoon. A look at all the timing of it all. Let's go ahead and go straight to meteorologist Justin Chambers.
Our weather alert day is for the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms moving in as we head later into the afternoon and evening time. Damaging wind gusts of 50 and 60 miles an hour, some large hail possible. Most of that storm timing not until after about 3 or 4 o'clock and lasting into the evening, possibly about 8, 9 o'clock this evening. So that's what we have to watch for. We do have from the Storm Prediction Center a large area of the East Coast under an enhanced or slight risk for severe weather. And that includes pretty much all of us here in Maryland. You can see the slight risk for Frederick and Westminster, but other areas are under that enhanced risk. And it's pretty rare, actually, to see that. That's 3 on a scale of 1 to 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. So your hour-by-hour forecast, numbers climbing. We'll see those lower 90s as we get into that 2 and 3 o'clock hour this afternoon. The heat and humidity building, and then some of those thunderstorms developing later in the day. We'll take you through that hour-by-hour future scan coming up in a few minutes from right now.
Happening now, the 2 suspects charged in that March crash on the Baltimore Beltway that killed 6 construction workers. They're back in court. 54-year-old Lisa Adrian Lee is in court for a status hearing. She's facing a number of charges, including 6 counts of manslaughter. Police say she was speeding and trying to change lanes when she hit another car, that vehicle driven by Malachi Brown. He's also due in court for a scheduled hearing today. He's facing several charges, including manslaughter as well. Now, the week off to a violent start in Baltimore City. Police say a 60-year-old man was stabbed to death Sunday inside of a home along North Caroline Street in East Baltimore. 4 other people also shot over the weekend. One of them died. Now, the murder was part of a double shooting in Park Heights this past weekend. And as the violence continues, the mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement is looking for a new leader. The program's director, Shantae Jackson, is expected to step down on Friday. It's just the latest vacancy in a host of other openings in city leadership. Jason Mitchell, the public works director, will leave his position as soon as Friday. He submitted his letter of resignation in January. His last day was supposed to be in April, but in March, the mayor's office announced Mitchell would stay through June 30th to help complete some ongoing projects. Mitchell and Jackson, just the latest executives apparently moving on. Just a few weeks ago, Police Commissioner Michael Harrison stepped down, and the fire department has not had a fire chief for months. You can find more in those All right, we're back with the latest on the war in Ukraine. President Biden and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky discussed the ongoing defense efforts in Ukraine against Russia's invasion. President Biden reaffirmed the U.S.'s unwavering support. That includes continued security, economic, and humanitarian aid. They also discussed the recent events in Russia where a mercenaries' revolt nearly marched into Moscow. We're taking a look now at your social stream. Coming back here, an important day for the Muslim pilgrimage can go back to pre-pandemic levels after years of coronavirus restrictions. The Hajj brings people from around the world to the Mecca in Saudi Arabia. The pilgrimage formally starts today, and Saudi officials say they expect more than 2 million Muslims to take part in this journey. Let's see that's what people are saying here. The Hajj is the time to learn from experiences of others, and pilgrims interact with people from different cultures and backgrounds, sharing stories and insights. Everyone's together and peaceful. Love to see it. All right, well, the U.S. Coast Guard is not saying how much the international response to find the doomed submersible, the Titan, they don't know. They're not saying how much it is, but estimate it is in the millions of dollars. Some are now questioning whether wealthy travelers or companies should be responsible for those costs. And the Coast Guard says it won't send a bill. It's generally prohibited by law from collecting reimbursements for search and rescue efforts. Now, one person says, let's check this out here, if the Coast Guard is doing free search and rescue missions on high seas, this is a subsidiary for the wealthy. America's go bankrupt from helicopter rides. All right, so definitely some debate here. Another tweet that reads, let's see. All right, Chris says, I wonder how much it would have to cost to save those 500 migrants that were on top of the water and recorded on video locations. But no, still, they all drowned. That has been a point that people have been talking about on social media. Moving on now to Brittany Griner is being made a starter in next month's WNBA All-Star Game. Griner rejoined the Phoenix Mercury this season after she spent nearly 10 months detained in Russia on drug charges. This will be Griner's 9th All-Star appearance, and she's averaged more than 19 points and 6 rebounds a game so far this season. The All-Star game will play in Las Vegas July 15th. All right, let's see here. Linda's saying, congratulations, Brittany. Yep, what a comeback. Another person saying, let's be fair, she was picked because of her situation. There are other players at her position deserving this season. Hater. Anyways, still ahead, more people are working into their 80s. And it's not due to money. The surprising reason more are continuing to clock in even past the age of retirement. And a possible repeat of the 2020 race. A look at the potential challengers Mayor Brandon Scott could face as he looks for a second term. And coming up at noon, it's Karamu, then 1 o'clock, Sherry, followed by your hot bench at 2. All right, we're back with a weather alert for you. Severe weather is impacting millions of Americans, including us here at home. While some parts of the country have extreme heat, others, like Maryland, are facing the threat of possible tornadoes, heavy rains, flash flooding. The storms here at home expected to begin this afternoon. Stay with Fox 45 News and our Weather Authority team. They are tracking this system for you and keeping you updated ahead of the weather. You can check us out both here on air and online. Topping your voter guide, we are just 11 months away from Maryland's primaries, and it looks like incumbent Brandon Scott may have a challenger. Runner-up from the last race, former Mayor Sheila Dixon, hinting at a possible run. She made those comments during a Fox 45 town hall last week, and she called it a strong possibility. And she may not be the only challenger. Pastor Shannon Wright also ran in the last race, and this morning in an interview with our Tom Rogers, she too hinted at a possible run for office.
The next mayor of Baltimore City, whoever she may be, needs to come to the table with solutions. For example, in education. So many of us have been apartment renters before. When your apartments have repairs, sometimes you hold that money and hope to go to court so that the judge can force folks to make repairs. I would, if elected, implement a strategy similar to that, in that the schools would be required to get money, but before they got that money released from the city, they would have to have a performance plan. They would have to show that they've done a fiscal and a performance audit. We would go school by school, ranked from the lowest, and we would go grade by grade, asking the teachers what they need. There has to be solutions. So whomever the next mayor may be, we need to be looking forward, not back. We need to have solutions that actually make sense.
Okay.
We have been run by one party for decades, and that hasn't gotten us very far. So it's time to hear some other voices and some real solutions.
Pastor Shannon Wright, it sounded like you had just gave us a campaign speech. Are you running to be the next mayor of Baltimore?
I guess time will tell, now won't it?
Well, you can watch that full interview on our website right now, foxbaltimore.com. Then coming up on Fox 45 News at 4, police on the scene of a BGE worksite in Federal Hill today. This after the latest protesters were arrested for pushing back on the work last week. And then at 5 o'clock, another shooting just feet from the scene of a mass shooting last week. City leaders were pressing city leaders for answers on what is the driving force behind the uptick in violence in Baltimore neighborhoods. And at 6, pride flags could be banned from the classroom. What's behind a new policy in Anne Arundel County and the impact it could have on kids? You can get your Fox 45 News in a flash through your Amazon Alexa or your Echo device. We deliver your local headlines and your forecasts in less than 2 minutes. If you have an Amazon device, just tell it to enable Fox 45 Baltimore. Trending now, a lot of Americans are continuing to work into their 80s, and it's not necessarily because they need the money. The Census Bureau says last year about 650,000 Americans over 80 were still working. That's an 18% increase from 10 years prior. The Wall Street Journal found many of them say they fear becoming irrelevant if they quit, and they believe if their days are finite, they're better off spending them on the job than in retirement. Some of them joke they find the golf course boring or their spouse won't tolerate their laziness. I mean, you know, Mark Clark would be more lifestyle. I think, you know, if you can still move and you want to move, come on, join us. Join the workforce, okay?
I think if I don't have to work when I'm in my 80s, unless it's a passion, like of course I love to I'm a broadcaster, so doing a podcast or doing some type of thing, that's fine. But to be working, just to be working, I'm not that kind of dude right now.
Well, what if you were in the house for like 1 week? How long would it take you to go, I'm not doing anything?
There's plenty of stuff to do at the house. You do work in the yard, work at your house,
lay at the pool,
talk to your grandkids. You know what I mean? I don't need to go work. Again, right now, I know how to chill.
Okay. Well, you know what? These 80-year-olds are working.
But you know what? I'm going to say,
us.
Taylor, you seem like you're kind of a busybody type, though. I think you're going to be one of those 80-year-olds that works and keeps on working.
I have an early retirement in for a time on the beach at 65. Don't play me.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I'm joking. We've got a lot to cover here, though. We're turning back now to that weather alert. A new line of storms is threatening to make your Monday afternoon commute a lot less beautiful. A mess, really. A closer look at the timing of it all. Let's go straight to meteorologist Justin Chambers.
Yeah, we are tracking the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms. Our weather alert day in effect, especially for Monday afternoon into the evening time. We talked about this all morning long. The threat does exist for some damaging wind gusts and some hail that will be possible. Also some heavy rain as well. Really the timing, it's not till after about 3 or 4 o'clock before things start to get going. That's because we're going to be hot and humid, and we have this environment that's very favorable for some of these storms to develop. Storm Prediction Center is on board and talking about either a marginal, slight, or enhanced risk for pretty much much everybody along the entire East Coast. We've got more than nearly 60 million people under that slight or enhanced risk, and that includes us right here at home for Frederick and Westminster, Cockeysville, Columbia, Bel Air, Baltimore City and County under that enhanced risk. All of us on the eastern shore down through Howard and Anne Arundel County also under that enhanced risk. So those numbers are going to climb into the lower 90s through the 2 and 3 o'clock hour for the afternoon. And on the muggy meter with dew point temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s, yeah, in that kind of gross category with that increasing humidity, it's going to feel a lot hotter than those temperatures actually are. The biggest threats, as we talked about, that strong wind, large hail into the isolated tornado threat and that heavy rain that will be possible. So hopefully they can get the O's game in tonight, but right around 7, 8 o'clock is when some of those storms could still be firing. High temps today, upper 80s and lower 90s, a little bit above average for this time of year, not only here at home, but up and down the 95 corridor. We'll continue to see that hot and humid kind of day today. Here comes the cold front. You can see that future scan right there. So those showers and storms developing along the front, basically as that cold air shoves underneath that warm air, and you get that warm air rising, bringing with it that chance for storms. And continuing into that 4 and 5 o'clock hour for your Monday afternoon into the evening time tonight, still some of those leftover showers, which is why we could see some delays for the O's game tonight. And then on Tuesday, another round of showers develops behind the front, a little bit earlier and more of the widespread shower activity with a couple of thunderstorms possible. So not going to be weather alert on Tuesday. Finally, by Wednesday, we do start to dry things out. So here's a look at that 10-day forecast. Again, weather alert day on Monday with highs in the lower 90s. Back to the mid-80s for both Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. In fact, all the way through the middle and toward the end of the week, we see our numbers come down a little bit, but definitely drier and calmer conditions. We pick up some showers late Friday and then into Saturday and Sunday, which is 4th of July weekend. We do have that chance for a couple of pop-up showers and storms. By next Tuesday, which is the 4th, we're looking at numbers in the upper 80s.
Still bracing for backlogs at the airport nationwide. Why a major airline says it needs to update its computer to avoid impacting summer flight schedules. And an increased demand for oil. A look at the latest projection for America's dependence on fossil fuels. And a big night on television again. At 8 o'clock, it's an all-new episode of The Stars on Mars. And then at 9, Crime Scene, Kitchen. Then stick around for Fox 45 News at 10 and 11, late edition. All right, do not miss this. Ford is under investigation over a recent recall of SUVs. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is looking into whether this recall truly fixed the problem. Now, Ford recalled nearly 300,000 Explorers due to fix an issue with the rear axle, but the feds say they've gotten multiple complaints from owners who say the issue wasn't fully fixed. The administration has opened a probe after drivers reported losing control of their SUVs. OPEC officials say we can expect big global oil demand in about 20 years. The organization says demand will be up to 110 million barrels of oil a day by 2045. That's a 23% bump. OPEC's Secretary General says oil will still compromise about 29% of the energy mix by that time. American Airlines face a big test in the coming days that could impact your travel plans. Now, they have until July 1st to upgrade equipment to avoid potential interference from 5G wireless signals. Those that don't complete the upgrade will not be cleared to land in certain weather conditions. Transportation officials warn of possible travel disruptions. All right, now time for your lunch break. More than 100 dogs are trying to break the world record for furthest jump. Now, they're taking part in the North America Dog Diving event. Last year's winner, Sounders, is looking to beat his current record.
There's never been a dog in the world that has jumped farther or higher than him. He jumps 36 feet, 11 inches for distance.
Proud owner of the 8-year-old who's set to set a record for the 9-foot vertical jump last year, but his owner's thinking he will top that again this year. That's all we have now for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyles up next. Mark Clark back to tell us what you guys are working on.
That's right, to be born at a time when Sounder is alive. It's special. We'll be talking about the summer heat coming up on Be More Lifestyle. You stay right there.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
Baltimore, I'm Mark Clark, and this is Be More Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here, along with makeup artist and skincare expert Kristen Floyd. Good morning, everybody.
What up? Happy Monday.
Right now. Now, Taylor Swift is making headlines for appearing to ask fans not to bully her ex, John Mayer. Swift famously dated Mayer when she was 19 and he was 31. At a concert over the weekend, Swift spoke about the upcoming re-release of her album, Speak Now, telling fans to extend kindness and not to feel like they need to defend her on the internet. She then went on to perform her song, Dear John, famously rumored to be about John Mayer. Okay, Kristen, what do you think? She got to be protection for her old ex-boyfriend?
I mean, well, here's the thing. If it's old and it's an ex-boyfriend, I don't know why we're still, like, digging it up. And, like, if you're going to sing about it and then go, I'm going to talk about it, but don't make a thing about it.
Right.
But it's an old song, and I know it's a good one, but, like, I don't know why we're resurrecting it if she doesn't want to have the drama resurrected.
Yeah, exactly.
Lady T, your thoughts?
Exactly. Well, you know what, Tay-Tay, we going to ride for Tay-Tay all the days, okay? So, I mean, if she's going to sing it, I'm going to keep on defending her, okay? I'm going to keep on going, because it's John Mayer. I mean, I know there's been many since then. I know Tay-Tay. I know there's been many a men. She's been many men. I know there's been many since then, okay? But still, I mean, I'm kind of a little angry about it still, because he kind of, you know, it was a rough days for her and John. So
Don't dog out my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
I hate you.
I hate you, dear John, you suck. Basically, is what she said.
Summer's here. That means the office temperature war is heating up. There's a big debate online whether offices are too hot or too cold. A lot of women are saying they're always cold at work, while men are saying it's fine. There's an interesting theory about this online. Some argue men set the thermostat, and they often wear layers, a suit, a shirt, an undershirt, while women wear a single layer and are more likely to have bare arms and legs due to dress styles. Lady T, you're a woman.
I am. What a coincidence, right? I'm a woman. I feel like men get very upset when we take their hoodies, but this is why. It's because the room is too cold. When my feet start to freeze, I feel like we need to turn the thermostat a little bit up, turn it up a little bit, because it's freezing. I'm tired of having to wear like a little blazer or something inside. But you know what? In the summertime, you can blast that AC all you want. Okay?
Do you think this theory is right online, or is it off?
Well, I'm unpopular opinion today on both things. I am always warm. Listen, I can always add clothing. I can only take off so much before it's not appropriate.
Legally, you can only take off so much without the throwing dollar bills.
I'd much rather be cold than hot and sweaty.
Confirmed she is a little hottie.
She is warm-blooded, yes, darling.
Cold at work. Vote on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote.
I love it.
When you get to the website, make sure you click on the lifestyle tab. And of course, you can also vote on our Fox 45 News app. At the end of the show, we'll see what everybody thinks. And then everybody get my joke, Kristen is a hottie. Okay. Now, in what seemed as though it had been a joke, tech billionaires Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg appear to be getting ready for a cage fight face-off. The two duking it out in now viral posts on Twitter and Instagram. Musk saying he's up for a cage fight. Zuckerberg responding saying, send me the location. Meta spokesperson appears to confirm it's real, saying the story speaks for itself. Let me tell you something.
Wow.
Ain't nobody trying to see two nerds fight.
I am.
She said, I am.
I'm in.
Would you pay to see this? You would pay to see it?
I'll tell you why. The only way I condone this, and I would co-sign, is if they do it and they do it for charity and they make it a big fundraiser and they give all the money and they each put up their own money and it goes toward charity. I don't like violence. I don't like fighting. It's not a thing. But if they want to do it as like joke entertainment and do it as a charity thing, I'm in.
Okay, that's a good reason. I like that.
Lady T, you like the fights.
Wait a minute.
Lady T,
it's true. I am a wrestling fan. I feel like they should be wrestling instead. Honestly, why do we need this? Why do we need to see the two of them fight? If they are going to get in the ring, I want both of them to get in the ring and share a post. And I want you both to see how long it takes to post on both of your company's accounts, okay? Because it takes a long time, especially when the Wi-Fi is not working. So yeah, get in the ring and start posting something and see how long it takes for us to post something on y'all sites, okay?
I think they're trying, they're trying to act like cool people.
Yeah.
Like nobody really cares.
But wait, who do you think would win though? Okay, like.
Well, let me tell you something.
It's Mark versus Elon. Who would win?
Mark is smaller than Elon Musk. Elon Musk wears a hairpiece.
He does.
He's vulnerable.
He's vulnerable. He's vulnerable.
And he's older. That's the first
This is Achilles' heel.
The hairpiece has to go.
But say Mark does jiu-jitsu or MMA, so I feel like he would take him down. I feel like he would win.
Well,
my money's on Mark.
We'll see.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you ladies later in the show. Still ahead, a new tool to help you stay healthy. We'll show you the new devices taking over medicine cabinets. Okay, but first, keeping safe this summer. We'll chat about ways to protect ourselves from the heat and other summer dangers. Hey, you stay right there.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
A daily hygiene routine is an important part of self-care. Today, Stacey Bell is here with a money-saving deal on a product that solves an age-old problem.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
We all get earwax. Ugh, it's really nothing to be embarrassed about. And you like to use those cotton swabs, but they really don't work because they just push the wax deeper into your ear. The Whoosh Powered Ear Cleaner is really going to help you break up that wax. I'm going to show you how it works. It's really easy. I already have some water. You add warm water, has to be warm. You can use this inside the shower or out of the shower. I'll show you right here. You have this little cup and you put the cup up to your ear. You stick the whoosh inside and turn it on, and it just starts to break up that wax. And there are 3 different levels, so if you want to go lighter so you don't have a big rush of water in your ear, that works as well. The buildup of wax in your ear can lead to irritation, hearing loss, and the Whoosh is really going to help break down that wax and help you feel better. The other thing I like about it, if you have a bunch of people in the house, your kids, your spouse, there are 6 different attachments. So you can use these, and not everybody's using the same thing to break up the wax in their ears. So this is just going to help you feel a little bit better about yourself and relieve that wax in your ear. Right now, we're offering 35% off the Whoosh Powered Ear Cleaner. It's such a great deal. You want to head over to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by the National Safety Council.
June is National Safety Month, and with the summer upon us, it's a good time to talk about what risk we face this time of year. Lorraine Martin, President and CEO of the National Safety Council, joins us now to discuss the importance of making safety personal. Welcome, how are you?
I am good, thank you, Mark.
So why are the summer months an important time to discuss safety?
Did you hear when he said... Well, it's important to talk safety all the time, every day, all year long. But in the summer months, some of those risks that we face in our daily lives actually get more risky. Some of that just happens to be because it's summer and it's hot in the communities and that we live in across the nation. And we're out in that heat, whether it's having a picnic with family and friends or some of our jobs are out there in the heat. And heat illness is something that is very dangerous and can sneak up on you pretty quickly.
And what types of hazards should we be looking out for at this time?
Yeah, heat certainly is on the top of the list, and I encourage everyone to make sure they know how to help with heat illness, with making sure that people are hydrated and in the shade and they take a break. But the one that I put right after that is going to be when you get out on our roadways. Our roadways also get more dangerous in the summertime. We might not have expected that, but our roadways are pretty dangerous all year long. It's actually one of the most dangerous three things we do every day is get on our roadways. We lost 46,000 people on our roads in 2022, and the summer months are even riskier than other months. We lose about 3,700 every month during the summer from about May to August. And so we're all out and about, going places we want to be with family and friends, having a good time, and some of our holiday weekends are some of our riskiest, and 4th of July is just around the corner. So it's really important that we make sure that we know that we're driving safely, and we know what that looks like. It's wearing your seatbelt. It's not speeding. It's not driving distracted, and it's not driving impaired. Right now, we predict during the 4th of July, we might lose 619 people who won't be with us on the other side. That's preventable, and we can do something about it.
How can people be safety heroes at home?
Well, you can be safety heroes at home, and you can be safety heroes throughout your entire life. And what do we mean by a safety hero? Well, it's someone who lives the example of being safe and knows what risks are about them, and notes for others how to make sure that they stay safe. Setting an example is the first place to go. But there's also something very specific right now in our world that we can be safety heroes around, and that has to do with the opioid crisis that's plaguing our nation right now. I talked about how many folks we lose on our roadways. It's about 100 a day. We're losing double that to overdoses. And what you'd say, can I do about that? How can I help someone survive an overdose? Well, we can. Right now, there is an opioid overdose recovery medicine that's available over the counter, and it will be more so as the summer goes along. Naloxone is a name you might have heard, but getting trained on how to use it is really important, and you can get trained on it and you can save a life. So a safety hero is somebody who leads by example and someone who shares their story about safety being personal to them.
Lorraine, thanks for this great information. Where can people go for more information?
nsc.org and safetyispersonal.org. Thank you, Mark.
Definitely. Thanks so much. Now, summer is here. Coming up, we'll chat with a local skincare and beauty expert about this season's hottest trends and how you can create them at home, and working to remove the stigma, how you can take part in National HIV Testing Day and help raise awareness.
This is Be More Lifestyle.
All right, you guys, outfit check, jewelry check, but what about your makeup? All right, here to tell us how to give your makeup a pop of color this summer is none other than the 2023 Best of Baltimore Wedding Makeup Artist, Kristen Floyd. Welcome to the show, Kristen.
Thank you so much for having us.
I love this. Okay, I'm so excited. Yeah. Congrats on the amazing honor, first and foremost.
Thank you so much.
Yes, okay. Now, I need your help, okay? You gotta tell us the biggest makeup trend that we're seeing so far for the summer. What is it?
Okay, so one of the things that is sort of, all over TikTok is this golden hour makeup. Ooh. And this gorgeous beauty is my goddaughter, Malia, was kind enough to lend me her face today. So you can see we have this golden hour glow, right? And so it's about taking a really lightweight foundation, so really sheer, really dewy. We want dewy. Okay. And then you can mix, like I did, basically a highlighter in with the foundation to give it extra glow. And then basically think golden hour. You don't have to wait for that perfect golden hour photo, right? Yeah. You're creating that opportunity by using makeup, hitting you where you're getting that golden hour gorgeousness, right?
Okay, so it's not just on her cheeks. I see some on her eyes,
I put it everywhere.
You put it everywhere?
Well, mix it with the foundation, a sheer dewy foundation. I put it all over the eyes. Good. That comes later. That is definitely more intense than that. But everything else is the highlighter mixed with the foundation, and then you come in with a more golden bronze, and you hit the planes of the face where you're waiting for that golden hour to hit you.
I love
so I'm just getting it sort of everywhere where I want, because that golden hour glam, that's where you're focusing that highlight, but mixing it in with a really sheer foundation, because summer's light breezy, we want to make it really shimmery all over, but sheer.
Got you. Okay, now how do we get the smizing? I want to look good with my eyes. How do I smize?
Bold for the summer is a big deal. Okay. So bold liner. So you can see I did this really beautiful blue liner underneath of her eye. So I did a couple of trends. So I did that bold blue eye. You could do that all over.
I like
that. Then another one is this dazzling glitter eye, right? And so I use these really beautiful liquid eyeshadow pigments. Okay. And you can put it over the eye because I felt like it was going really well with the golden hour theme.
It blends so I love it.
So you want it to go with
Tell me real quick. I love a poppin' lip.
Yes.
Okay. And for the summer, as I'm out here in these streets, I need these lips popping.
This golden hour glow. So
yes. How do we do that? Okay.
Continuing with champagne gloss from OCB Spa, and I have a little on my little ring palette here. Okay. And I'm just going to add a little bit more of that golden glow to her lips, and just pat for me.
Okay,
perfect.
Come on,
and then there you go.
And then, okay, now how do people find you? How can they go get your classes? Because I know you teach classes too. Where can they find you, girl?
We on Instagram and Facebook, OCB Spa. So Kristen Floyd, OCB Spa. We're in Towson, and at OCBSpa.com and Vagaro.com/OCB Spa. You can find all of our classes, make appointments 24/7, see the events we have coming up, book with us, all the things.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today. Amazing, and congrats again on the honor. And thank you, darling. All right.
We're tracking the potential for strong to severe storms on our weather alert day Monday. Damaging wind gusts and hail. Those are going to be the biggest issues that we're tracking throughout the late afternoon and into the evening time. And any of these storms are not going to really get going until about after 3 or 4 o'clock. A lot of the models are keeping it even a little bit later into the afternoon and evening time. So that's what we're watching for. Now, notice from the Storm Prediction Center, the entire East Coast under that marginal, slight, or enhanced risk for severe weather. And when you get that marginal and even the slight and enhanced risk, those are kind of 2 and 3 on that scale. You can see that right there. So the enhanced risk is kind of rare for us here around the Baltimore region, but all of us are in that enhanced risk with the exception of Carroll County and Frederick County, and still a slight risk for folks there. So overall in your hour-by-hour forecast, numbers will climb into the lower 90s through that 2 and 3 o'clock hour. Some of those storms firing later this afternoon. It's going to be a hot, muggier day with kind of the dew point temperatures in that gross category with the increase in humidity. And those biggest severe weather threats, large hail, strong wind, an isolated tornado threat, cannot rule that out. Also some heavy rain with some of those thunderstorms coming in. Now, Reds are in town tonight to play the O's. Don't know if we're going to get the game on tonight. It's 7:05 first pitch. Numbers will be in the 80s, and we'll still be tracking some of those showers and possible thunderstorms. Obviously, safety is the biggest issue before we play any kind of baseball. So mid to upper 80s and lower 90s across central Maryland. These are going to be your hot temperatures for today with that heat and humidity up and down the 95 corridor. That's why this environment favorable for this cold front to come in and start mixing things up a bit. So here comes that front. About 3, 4 o'clock, it's going to be moving from west to east. It's going to be picking up that chance for showers and storms, that rising air that we'll get, those towering cumulus clouds we'll see into 5 and 6 p.m. Even into that 7 to 8 o'clock hour, still a couple of leftover showers and storms, which is why that game could be delayed or postponed. Tuesday, we'll have another round of showers about 2, 3 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, and less of a chance of the severe thunderstorms, but still some pop-up storms. So very unsettled weather, at least for the next couple of days. Notice as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, we will start to dry things out nicely and will actually be a little bit cooler heading toward the middle and end of the week. Here's that 10-day forecast for you. Lower 90s today, mid-80s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Back to the upper 80s. Friday stays dry, but some showers come in late Friday into Saturday, and that takes us into our 4th of July weekend with numbers in the upper 80s, but a chance for a couple of pop-up afternoon thunderstorms as well.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Walgreens.
It's important to know your status. Tomorrow, June 27th, is National HIV Testing Day. Here to tell us about it and how you can get involved is Brad McElroy, the Director of Specialty Health Solutions at Walgreens. Brad, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. So why is National HIV Testing Day important, and why should people get tested?
So the CDC recommends that everyone between the ages of 13 and 64 at some point in their lives to obtain an HIV test. And actually, other individuals that may be at higher risk of acquiring HIV, they recommend more frequent tests. They do this because 1 in 8 individuals living with HIV in the United States still does not know their HIV status. And so critically important for everyone to know their status so that you can get into either HIV treatment or prevention.
Talk us through the process. What can people expect when they go in for a test?
Well, once again this year, Walgreens is hosting the largest HIV testing event in the country. And so we have community organizations in our stores to offer the free confidential test. Individuals can come in without an appointment, walk in, have the test done, usually within 20 minutes in a private health room, and answer any questions that an individual may have. We have counselors as well as healthcare professionals available to answer the questions about what do I do now that I know my HIV status. So I again encourage everyone to come in for a test on National HIV Testing Day.
And why is it so important to destigmatize HIV testing?
You know, stigma is still very real. It has been since the beginning of the epidemic. So for about 40 years now, HIV stigma has been real. And we need to do everything that we can to help overcome the stigma so that individuals don't feel afraid to get an HIV test. And they can also be equipped with information about what do they do once they know their HIV status. And so critically important to help do everything that we can to overcome stigma associated with HIV.
And how's Walgreens supporting the HIV community?
We have been really since the beginning of the epidemic. You know, we opened up our first HIV specialized location or pharmacy back in 1996. And since then, we've been able to expand those services. We've been able to train our pharmacists when it comes to HIV treatment and prevention, and then to make sure that we play our part in ending the HIV epidemic. And HIV testing is one of those critical components of ending the HIV epidemic.
And where can our viewers find a location or find more information, Brad?
So glad you asked. greaterthan.org/Walgreens. Find more information about HIV testing in your local community, and then to be able to answer any questions that you may have.
Hey, thanks so much for this great information, okay?
Thank you for having me.
Sure. Still ahead, it's summer and things are heating up, including the debate over whether office thermostats are kept too hot or too cold. We'll see what you're saying about it coming up next. Summer is here, and that means the office temperature wars are heating up. Big debate online whether offices are too hot or too cold. A lot of women are saying they're always cold at work, while men say it's fine. We wanted you to tell it. Are you typically hot or cold at work? Right now, most of you are saying it changes. Great show lined up for tomorrow. When it comes to money, what does it take to be considered wealthy in America? We'll take a closer look at the recent survey and see if the numbers add up.
Find out how to have your business featured on Be More Lifestyle. Email us at BeMoreLifestyleTV@FoxBaltimore.com.
And as always, thank you for inviting us into your home. Make sure you follow Be More Lifestyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all our social media platforms. And we'll see you tomorrow.